Hi everyone, my name is Zane Freed, bringing you guys another video about Honkai Star Rail and who I consider to be the best 4-star unit in the game. We're going to go over exactly why I think this character is so good, and sort of go over their skill, their ultimate, their talent, everything that makes them so good, and why I think they are really like a staple that can really go on any team that you would prefer that character to go on. So who exactly is this mystery character that's so powerful, where she can realistically work on any team you put her on? That would be none other than Ting Yun. Um, in my personal opinion, I think Ting Yun is easily the best 4-star character in the game. You can put her on any sort of heavy DPS composition team, and she works beautifully well. She really enables heavy damage dealers to do the most amount of damage they can, just pumping out their ultimate as often as possible while also giving them like 2 different attack buffs. Um, Tingyun is just a very strong character. Definitely a character I would suggest trying to get to, E4, E5. Like, she is probably going to be one of the best 4-star characters, even going forward as, things start to come out and, characters get power creeped and things like that. I still think Tingyun will probably be one of the best 4-star characters, but at the moment she is definitely the best in my opinion. And let's talk about why. So the first thing we're going to talk about is her skill, which grants a single ally with Benediction, which increases their attack by 37%, up to 20% of Tingyun's current attack. Now that is quite good. Now, obviously, these percentages would increase as you level up the skill and you level up Ting Yun. But this is a very good buff. It lasts for 3 turns, which is also quite good. You don't have to actually up this very often, so you can kind of build up your skill points by basic attacking, and things like that. So not only that, but when the ally with Benediction attacks, they deal additional lightning damage equal to 30% of that ally's attack one time. So even though that she's already increasing your attack by 37%, she's also increasing the lightning damage that character deals by 30%, just doing like additional damage on top of what that character that you've chosen to buff is already doing. And that is just very, very strong. Again, lasting for 3 turns is very good. It's not something that you have to burn a lot of skill points on. And by buffing a character, she also manages to utilize her talent, which is when an enemy is attacked by Tingyun, the ally with Benediction immediately deals additional lightning damage equal to 45% of that ally's attack to the same enemy, meaning that Tingyun's damage is actually quite good. She's able to do. It's not necessarily super impressive, but it's certainly better than something like your tank or your healer will be doing, and probably your other Harmony character will be doing as well. Um, Being able to do like 4 or 5,000 damage at level 60, probably more than that if you have the correct relics and substats and things like that. It's more damage than you would think it is, especially for a Harmony character. Uh, on top of the fact that her ultimate regenerates 50 energy for a single ally and increases the target's damage by 35% for 2 turns. This is, in my opinion, the best Harmony ultimate in the game. Being able to regenerate essentially half of a damage dealer's, energy for their ultimate is very, very good, especially for characters like Jing Yuan, Sela, or Yan Qing, for example, who kind of relies on his ultimate. This is such a good ultimate just for the energy alone, but on top of that, it also increases the target's damage by 35%, which again will go up as you level up Ting Yun. Is just incredible. That is a lot of energy to regenerate and a really good buff to apply to your damage dealers. Just really an incredible character all around, and I think she's by far the best 4-star character in the game, and definitely one that you should try to have on essentially any team that revolves around like a heavy damage dealer. So what does building Ting Yun look like? Well, in my opinion, there are 2 different light cones that are really good for her, or really three different light cones. The first light cone being one that I don't have, unfortunately. It's Bronya's light cone. Pretty much every Harmony character that is in the game, that is like Bronya's light cone is their most optimal light cone. But that's a little bit difficult to get. So we do have some really good 4-star options that are very cheap and attainable. The first of which being Planetary Rendezvous. This is more specifically if you're running a lightning damage carry, something like Jing Yuan, for example. It's just very synergistic with when you're running more than one lightning character. The other option that you can try and run for a light cone is Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds. At the start of battle, there's like one of 3 different buffs that can be applied, and it changes every so often. Um, all of the buffs are quite good. One's attack percent, one's crit damage, one's energy regeneration, all of which really helps your damage dealer pump those numbers out and inflate those numbers quite a bit. Um, Both of these are good options. You'll run Carve the Moon more generally, but if you happen to have like another lightning damage dealer that you think is, sort of solo carrying your team, like Jing Yuan, for example, then you would definitely run Planetary Rendezvous. Um, Now, when it comes to Ting Yun's relics, I don't currently have fantastic relics for her, but what you would ideally want to do is run the Musketeer set so that you can get that attack increase for not only Ting Yun, but, the rest of your allies as well. You also want to run Herta's Space Stealing Station between your chain and orb right here in the middle. For the subsets you're trying to see, you really want to see attack percent. The higher Ting Yun's attack is, the better her skill buff is. So you would definitely be wanting to try and look for her attack percent between the boots and the chest piece. And yeah, in terms of her Eidolons, Eidolon 1, she gets, whenever she uses her ultimate, the ally with Benediction gains a 20% increase in speed. Having your damage dealers, act as often as possible is obviously very, very strong. And the rest of her Eidolons are also quite good. Ally with Benediction regenerates 5 energy at E2. E3 is usually the same for everyone, and the damage multiplier provided by Benediction increases, so the character that is attacking with that buff is doing even more damage. And then her ultimate also regenerates 10 more energy at E6, which again, 60 energy, that is essentially half energy for pretty much every ultimate in the game, is very, very strong. I think pretty much every Eidolon that you can get for Ting Yun is worth going for. She's currently featured on Jing Yuan's banner. If you already have Jing Yuan, but you still have your Stellar Jade, you don't really know what to do with it. In my opinion, I would definitely try to pull for Ting Yun, get those Eidolons up, because this character is so, so good. She partners well with basically every damage dealer in the game. Jing Yuan is a great partner for her. Yan Qing is a great partner for her. Sela, of course, another fantastic partner. Essentially any solo, DPS that is like self-sufficient, like a damage dealer that's designed to do the highest amount of damage on your team rather than like it being a team effort. You'll definitely want to put Ting Yun on that team. Teams that you really wouldn't want to put Ting Yun on would be like damage over time teams, like a Serval Sampo team. I personally wouldn't run Ting Yun with that. That's probably something I would run like Asta with instead. But any team that relies on one character doing the damage, Ting Yun is so, so good for all of those teams. Because typically what you'll see in a team composition is a damage dealer, a character designed to keep your team alive, like a tank like Gepard, or a healer like Natasha, for example. And then after that, you'll see a Harmony character, much like Ting Yun, and you'll either see another Harmony character like Asta, or you'll see a debuffer like Pella, and that will be your 4. Your damage dealer, your tank, your Harmony character, and then either an additional Harmony character or a debuffer. And I personally think on that sort of team composition, the Harmony character that you should be choosing 100% of the time is Ting Yun. There's simply no character better at what she does and what she can provide for that sort of team composition, which is a very common team composition, more than likely the most common team composition within Star Rail is damage dealer, harmony, tank, or healer, and then harmony or debuffer. It's like the most common team composition within Star Rail, and that hard harmony character, where you're always slotting in a harmony character, should really just be Ting Yun. There's really no other choice to be made, in my opinion. Asta is certainly good, but Ting Yun is just so much better in terms of what she offers that damage dealer in those team compositions. Plus, she is very cute. Will not lie, like probably one of my favorite female characters within this game in terms of her design. So yeah, all around, Ting Yun is a fantastic character that should really be on every single team that you can put her on, because she's just so good at buffing those damage dealers and making sure they're doing a lot of damage. Yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Ting Yun in the comments below. Please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.